be a big dog, you gotta compete for being a big dog, and you gotta stop asking for the game to be fair, because the game ain't never been fair. So Google dodges the big breakup. Federal judge ruled that Google must share search data with rivals to boost competition, but rejected the DOJ's push to force a sell-off of Chrome and Android. CEO warned this could let competitors reverse engineer Google tech. The court also banned Google from exclusive deals that block rival apps from being pre-installed. Google plans to appeal, potentially delaying actions for years. Now, it's double-sided. It's double-sided because, one, they don't have to break things up, but two, so here's what I say what they're doing with companies like Google and these other companies. What happens is you let these companies become so big and then you start trying to reshape the rules. You can't reshape the rules. You can't let me win this long and say it ain't fair. The game ain't never been fair, fam. Because now what happens is you start letting people, like, that's the thing. You know the thing I love about business, dog? I'm gonna just keep it real with you, is somebody, I think Bernard said it, we had to call this morning. And I've said this my whole life. Yo, I'm gonna put my glasses off when I say this, right? I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna sit the tone voice down nice and calm, but I'm gonna say this. Business is a gladiator sport. Bernard, you said that this morning? But I've always said business is the greatest sport in the world because business is a take no prisoner sport. Get your money up or get ate. If you want to compete with the big dogs, you got to play the way the big dogs play. Oh, they suffocate me. All right, what if Apple shut the App Store down? What if Google shut Chrome down and Apple shut Safari down? Yo, we gonna be, so you gotta play, like, it's a reason why empire reign. I don't care what nobody's saying all that, man, they gotta let people compete then. Get your money up and compete. There's 8 billion people in the world, go compete. Well, they can keep smothering me, find a way. We just watched a man make $105 million in 3 days. I said something to my people on the live early, and here's what I said. Once you learn the system around money, the money is no longer the problem because you learn the system. I'm still trying to find a system out, but guess what we know of somebody like Alex Hormozy did? He understood the system of money because once you made $100 million one time, guess what? You can make it again. So in the business, here's why we understand something. If a person, watch this, oh, this is about to help so many people out. This is why people who made a lot of money during the pandemic can't replicate their success. Because they made a lot of money when money was free, and it gave them the illusion that this is business. No, people were sitting at home, and people was bored, and people were spending money that they didn't actually work hard for. Right? But now, here we are in 2026 when we see that crunch. And you know why you see a lot of entrepreneurs not being entrepreneurs no more? Because they realize business ain't easy when the money ain't free. How do you navigate through business when people holding their checkbook hostage? How do you navigate business when people got to make a decision, do I want to do this or do I got to pay my bills? That's business. That's business, learning how to provide so much value where people say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And how we know it's real? A man sold listen to me, a man took a $29 book and got 100 and something thousand people in the room and made them 100 and something thousand people. He made enough of them buy 200 books at a time, bare minimum. Because he gave so much value to the marketplace, you said, you know what, shit. The book $29, but I'm gonna go spend $6,000. You know what? This book is $29, but I'm not gonna buy 200 of them. There was a whole bunch of people bought 600 of them. You know why? Because he understood a system of money. And so once you understand a system of money, you can open any kind of business you want to. Is entrepreneurship hard? Hell yes. Is it worth it? Hell yes. Will you have to make tough decisions? Hell yes. Will it make you go through every emotion in the emotional Rolodex? Hell yes. But will you wake up every day full of purpose? Hell freaking yes. If you want to be a big dog, you got to compete for being a big dog, and you got to stop asking for the game to be fair because the game ain't never been fair. You wouldn't know how to create an app if there wasn't an app store to tell you to make you want to create an app. Go make that, watch this, with no Google App Store and no Apple App Store, where people gonna see your app at? Where they gonna see it at? Where they gonna see it at? You wanna compete with Meta? Cool. But without Meta, watch this. Go find Tom off MySpace. Go find him. Go find him. You can't. You can't. You made the app because of the app stores, gave you an idea that I can make an app. Without the app stores, you don't have a place to put your app because we don't know you. We don't know you. We don't know your company. We don't know nothing about you. You know why we know you? Because we got on this app store and there was an algorithm that pushed it up. Go learn the system. You won't compete with the big dogs. Stop expecting the game to be fair. That's my only gripe. And I'm saying this as a black man in America who ain't never expected the game to be fair, because I knew one thing. It was built against me. It wasn't built with me. Watch this. It wasn't built for me to get assets. It was built with me as an asset. Meaning, it wasn't built for me to build wealth. It was built for people to build wealth off me. That's what it was built for. The game ain't never gonna be fair, and we be looking for the game to be fair. Oh, we gonna go to the DOJ, we gotta break this up, make them compete. Google got it out the mud, and they started learning about what? Google the one started the wiring us to answer emails and ding, the little noise that make us, every time you get an email, you gotta answer it. Google the one started that. You know what they did? They got in the trenches and they figured out, I'm gonna go watch this. This is why as an entrepreneur, one of the things you gotta do is say, stop being cheap. You gotta go hire people that are brilliant at what they do. You know why? Because brilliant people do brilliant shit and they come up with shit that you didn't think about. They had a man that sat down on his phone and said, you know what? With these emails, hey, if we give them notifications, they gonna keep answering it. And that notification gonna give them traffic. I wonder, let's see how this work. Shit, before you know it, people was addicted to the notifications. And then they had somebody at Meta that said, hey, you know what? If you do this thing right here where the thing keeps scrolling, it's an endless scroll, and the dopamine gonna start clicking, and people start getting what? Attached to the dopamine and getting something new on their feed. Maybe if we can figure that out. Mark Zuckerberg ain't think about that, but he hired a brilliant-ass person that understood human psychology. You won't compete with the big dogs. Go create your app without even getting the idea of an app, because Google started from, and that's my rant for that. I be in my bag, but I be in my Bible too. Shout out to my dog D1. Right, NVIDIA's monopoly meltdown. NVIDIA's monopoly is melting down. China has sent a clear message to NVIDIA, signaling plans to build its own chips as Huawei and other fears race to triple the country's AI chip production by 2026. With new plants set to potentially surpass SMIC's output, Beijing is doubling down on efforts to cut reliance on U.S. technology. NVIDIA's China-only H220 chip may soon face stiff competition as China accelerates in its push for self-sufficiency. Now, here's what I want to say. This is the byproduct of Donald Trump. This is the byproduct of Donald Trump. This is the byproduct of Donald Trump. Why? Because he got in business he ain't had nothing to do with. Bro, you don't know nothing about no chips. Why you even got it in people's business? This is what Gene Singwan was like, bro. He told him, he said, bro, if you don't let us sell to China, guess what? They're gonna become our most fiercest competitor. Now, it's gonna take him some time to catch up to him, but guess what? All we got is time. But China doing something that America should have did a long time ago. But American leaders wasn't even in their right mind. Guess what they say? We don't want to depend on y'all. It's something that we were supposed to do in the 70s. You know what they doing? They putting self-sufficiency before greed. It's something America ain't do a long time ago. They say, hey, you know what? We good. You want to sell us the H220 while we got this? Don't even worry about it, fam. Guess what? I got an idea. You don't even got to sell us that little chip. Go on, keep that. We going to figure it out. It might set us back a little bit. Don't trip over when you get it. You better keep it up. This is Donald Trump's doing. This is Donald Trump's doing, 100%. And notice on the NVIDIA call what they said, yeah, we probably ain't gonna report Q3. We ain't gonna report, because China said we ain't buying it. You're not gonna give us your second best chip. We good. So this gonna affect, bro, this AI race is so crazy. Bro, this thing gonna change the world. It's changing the world in real time, bro. And it's changing it for the good and the bad. You gotta decide what side of that you on. It's changing it for good or bad. You gotta decide what side of that you on. And there's no gray area. There's no gray area. You either gonna be on the side that say, hey, let me learn this chat so I can do it, or you gonna be on the side of, oh, I can just do it with chat, I can just do it with chat, I can just do it with AI, I can just do it with AI. Bro, I told you I was on Gram for 2 days. Bro, I got on the Gram, bro, and guess what? I saw 17 different ads with people saying they AI masters. I thought about Bernard. I said, bro, god damn. Because I'm like, all right, I know B like this. I'm going to learn it, but let me see which one I can send B. Bro, they just kept coming. AI Bootcamp, AI Summit, AI this, 3-day AI Masterclass. I'm like, God, all these people? I'm like, oh, this the sign. That's it. All right, don't even tripping. I thought I with all of them.
And then that's going to bubble too.
Huh?
They said that's going to bubble too. They got to get it.
They got to get it, because it's going to evolve again.
Right. Yep.
So let's go to this next one. Watch this. I wrote this down. This is a great way to segue. Watch this. I wrote this down for us. Come on. So watch this. I wrote this down and I got this wrote off. So watch this. NVIDIA made it clear we're still in the early days of AI, right? NVIDIA made it clear that we're still in the early days of AI. Watch this. Phase 1 was the core infrastructure. NVIDIA, ASML, AMD, TSMC, NBIS. Watch this. Phase 2, the hyperscalers. Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Phase 3, Palantir, STEM, CrowdStrike, Net. Now watch this. Phase 4, Spot, Shop, Netflix, Tesla, Duo. So watch this. Here's what I wrote down. Watch this. This is a note. Small article. As AI is unfolding in clear stages, each phase builds on the one before. Phase 1 was the core infrastructure, the picks and shovels. Watch this. These are the companies that are providing the raw hardware and tools that make it possible. The NVIDIA with the GPUs, ASML with the chip-making machines, AMD and TSM, and Broadcom. So watch this. Think of them as the foundation, right? This is what everything was AI gonna be built on. Then phase 2 is the hyperscaler, which are the clouds, right? These are the companies with massive computing infrastructure who can deploy the AI at scale. Remember, everything has to go to scale. Everything has to go to scale. So watch this. This is the Microsoft, the Amazon, Microsoft with Azure, Amazon with AWS, Google with GCP and Meta. They are the landlords of the AI real estate. Everyone else pays them for storage, computing, and training models. Watch this. Phase 3 becomes the emerging companies. These are the companies that are powering the AI platforms with security, enterprise, and data. I'm giving you game right here. You need to write this down. Right here, Palantir, Snowflake. Shout out to all my people in the Patreon that killed it on that Snowflake play. I love y'all. Y'all was ahead of me, and I love that. That mean y'all ass was hunting. Right here, Snowflake, Cloudflare, and STEM. Watch this. They're the application builders, taking AI from theory to usable software across all industries. This is why Palantir is so crazy. This is why people don't know where to sell it or buy it, because it's like, yo, they that good. And then you got the phase 4. This is widespread integration. This one, it goes to Spotify, Shopify, Netflix, Tesla, Duolingo. These are the phases where AI touches everywhere we shop, learn, travel, media, and live the day. We are now in the phase 2 and the phase 3, but don't forget, after phase 2 and phase 3, the way we invest is we invest in phase 1, that's good. We build on that. We build on phase 2. But if we know we in phase 3 right now, we already need to be investing for phase 4. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to find one of these models in each one of these phases and just double down on it for the next 5 years.